Coming up in the next hour, actress Lee Grant, a brand new autobiography, and much more. It's the Jordan Rich Show with Chuck Goldstone, author and humorist. He's here with his ukulele. We'll play that before we wrap up. You're doing a nice little serenade for me off air. And you tell me now that you've got a new thing. It's called spinning.
Well, I do. You.
I'm
work
familiar
out?
with it.
I work out every so often. I get into the kick only because I have a mirror in my bathroom. And
Most of us do.
occasionally, when I get out of the shower, sometimes I look over and say, "Ooh, is that a funhouse mirror?"
Yeah.
Is that as the contour has shifted?
So where do you do this?
So from time to time, I will join a gym.
Yeah.
I joined one not too far from me. It's and not because, I don't like exercise. I do it because I know it makes me look and feel better, and I know I do it for my health. But I don't get this endorphin thing that other people get. I don't. Some people say, "Oh, I love exercise." I hate exercise, but I end up doing it. And I've belonged to different gyms through the years. And I joined one about a year ago, but I found out that the demographics weren't so good. Most of the people were way younger than I. As a matter of fact, I was on a treadmill one day when this hit me. I'm on a treadmill. And I looked to the person to my left and to my right, and I added their ages together, and I still had a toddler left over. I mean, it was just it was not even half. It was quite a bit under half my age. So anyway, I joined a gym to do the things that I could probably do at home, but I'm going to pay $100 and some a month to do exactly the same thing I could do at home, but I'm going to do in the presence of people who are half my age.
Right.
So. So I joined a gym, and part of it is the misery loves company thing. If I'm exercising with somebody else, I think I'm driven to exercise.
You have a trainer, or do you do it?
I do.
on your own?
Well, occasionally I'll get somebody.
Some
to
guy with a
really,
fish in his hand saying, "Here, jump," that kind of thing. No?
It's a trained seal kind of thing that I do, but. So anyway, I stopped going to the gym where everyone was now calling me sir, and that machine will open up in a minute because apparently that man will be soon having an aneurysm. It's just no.
Yeah,
I
that
just
old geezer, he won't be there much longer.
I'm feeling really good. I'm having this great conversation with this woman next to me, and then she calls me sir. So that's just not. So anyway, I ended up joining a different gym, and one that has a few more people who are sort of in my, and I hold out. I'm in pretty good shape, but I'm not 21 at this point. So if I'm doing a class, I try and I want to make sure that I pick out somebody that I know I'm going to be better than. And typically, it's the person who came back after just having a stroke.
Somebody with a walker.
Yes.
Somebody with,
but anyway, I can beat him. The reason actually part of the reason that I joined a gym was the cost. In that, well, figure this out. If I'm going to pay $100 and some a month, I would be stupid not to use it. Correct?
I would think, yes.
So
Yes.
I'm figuring if I go 10 times a month, then every time I don't go, it costs me, $10 or $12.
So, spinning. Get to the spinning.
I'm
Please.
working up to that.
Please. Well, we're running out of airtime here if you don't get to the spinning.
This is way too interesting, at least to me.
To you, yes.
But anyway, what I was about to say was in terms of as I was thinking about this in terms of the money thing. If I'm sitting at home, that works the other way, and I sometimes say that it will only cost me $10 to stay at home and relax. But anyway, there's this thing. I've been taking these classes. You do the yoga thing.
I do yoga.
I've tried yoga
a bit. Yeah.
It's there's this thing that they have called broga, which is high intensity. It's a combination of brutal and yoga.
Oh.
So it's you do it's and it hurts. It's really tough.
I thought when you said broga, I thought it was some kind of an Irish thing where
it's a dance. It's a kind of a dance.
No, you
thing.
you do a couple of salutations and then you start talking with a brogue. No,
it's different. But anyway, I'm taking so they have some organized classes, and the neat thing about the classes is you're in with a group of other people, and you're forced to continue. There's a thing called spinning. Are you familiar with it?
I'm very familiar with it. My daughter does it in New York.
Okay.
And it's high intensity, and you don't go anywhere really, but you.
No, it's a bicycle thing. They have
Basically
these real high tech bicycles. It's an hour workout. You do it to music. You have an instructor screaming commands to you. It's a bicycle trip. It's pretty psychotic. It's a bicycle trip in your head. And really. And you know, these high tech bikes, you get fitted for them like a suit.
And you have to wear a certain kind of shoe too, I believe.
Well, you can. You can have, as long as you have. There's a little clip on that if you have a bicycle shoe, but a regular, you slip into this little cup. So. So it works without the shoe. So I figure I'm paying enough. I don't have to go out and spend $100 for a bicycle shoe, because where else can you wear it? You can't. You know, it's like here's Chuck Goldstone addressing the conference of the national. Oh, and look at his shoes.
Yeah, look at those shoes.
He's not going to fall
spinning.
off the stage.
So how often do you do this, and how long is your?
Twice a week. It's an hour.
Okay.
They play music in the background, and I look around at all the around at all the people, and I know that the heavy beat music's going through their head because they're on the bike, and I'm thinking the music that's playing in my head when I'm on the bike is like the Margaret Hamilton song from The Wizard of Oz. And you have this instructor who's screaming out commands in this little microphone, which is funny because you're in a room that's about 10 by 10, and she has a microphone. I don't get it.
Okay, but it's motivation. It's motivation. And do you work up a sweat doing this? Do you
amazing.
burn some calories?
It is the hardest workout that I do. I am dripping when I get out, and you do these things called intervals and jumps, which you pedal, and then you pedal standing, and then you lean forward, and then you do this high intensity. And there's a little monitor in front that tells you your RPM. And it tells you. Now I have this device that you can wear around. It's a little band that you wear around your chest that the machine picks up on. It actually calculates your heartbeats, and kind of predicts when you're going to have a seizure. But whoa! Observation.
Yes.
It's this tight band that I wear around my chest. People have a heart attack describe it as what? A tight band around. I'm going to have a heart attack, and I'm going to never know.
You're going to be so tight you'll never know. So what's the average age of the spinners?
Weren't they a
Yes, they were.
Group?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. The spinners.
No, it's a pretty broad range. You have people you have 18-year-olds, and you have people in their 70s. But the nice thing about it is you crank the bike up to the intensity that you specifically want. But it's listening to music. It's listening to a lot of music that I've never heard.
Very disco.
Heavy beat.
Not disco. Club.
Yeah.
Called club
yeah.
music.
So for me, in a lot of cases, it's I bicycle fast as trying to get away from the music.
You're not going anywhere.
I'm not going anywhere. But
do you wear any particular type of dress and garb for this? Some spandex or something?
Kilt. I wear a kilt.
Oh, getting back to the brogue again. Very nice.
No, I just regular kind of. I don't wear the chamois pants, if that's what you're asking. There's a specific bicycle pant. Although I have to tell you, the seats on this thing, whoever designed this, I think German scientists from the 40s actually designed the seats on spinning bikes because they are really pretty. I don't know what kind of material. They're very hard. If people do spinning, you probably know what I mean. Especially some of the earlier spinning bikes it was like a little piece of concrete that you were sitting on. As a matter of fact, I think it's made of the substance they use to cut diamonds. It's that it's that hard. But anyway, it's a great workout. You go up imaginary hills. You go down imaginary hills. I'm chased by imaginary dogs. One of these days, I'm going to be hit by an imaginary car.
See, I used to have a stationary bike when I was a lot younger, and it got boring because it just, pedal. You're not going anywhere, obviously, but if you put it in front of the TV and there's something decent on, that's fine. But this is a whole new way to exercise.
This is like having a personal trainer because there's somebody who's really spurring you on. The good thing about exercising in a class is that where I would, the first time that I get tired, I would say, "Oh, I have muscle failure. I can't do that. And I stop." But when you have a personal trainer, have you done any personal training sessions?
No, but I understand the concept and it makes sense. No,
They just keep pushing you. They say, "Okay, 2 more," and you say, "I can't." They say, "Yes, you can," and you say, "I can't," and then they beat you unmercifully.
I'm motivated though to exercise.
See, I'm not.
I find the motivation to exercise.
I will give up, and that's why a spinning class teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a lot of. So there's spinning. I've done the spinning. They have something called cardio boxing, which I haven't tried yet. Have you seen that?
No, but I've cardio boxing. Well, boxing, by the way, is one of the most intense things you can do. If you go 3 rounds of 2 minutes each, you're going to be worn out in a hurry. That's why boxers are trained so hard. It's very difficult.
Well, you do this. Imagine you do shadow boxing, and you punch a bag, and you do a lot of aerobic moves that are. It's the same kind of moves you would do if you were actually boxing, and you don't get punched, which is really a good. To me,
have you heard about this 4-minute intense cardio workout that some people are working with? You do a lot for a very short amount of time, as opposed to doing that 20-minute a day kind of thing.
Really,
that might be something that you should look into.
I would look into that. I would look into one where it's 4 minutes and it's not really that hard. I would like that a lot.
How many push-ups are you going to give me?
Not a one here.
Not a one?
No.
Can't do a push-up?
I first of all, I don't do it on the radio. Oh, no, okay, I'm doing it on the radio. 1, 2, 3. How you're impressed, George? 5.
Very impressed.
15. I'm at 15,
15 push-ups.
16, 20. There, I just did 20 push-ups.
Greatest exercise developed by man is the push-up. How can you go wrong? You don't need anything. You just need a floor. Everyone's got one of those.
You need a floor and you need your own body weight.
You need your own body weight.
So technically, really heavy people should be in better shape.
Because they have their own body weight.
I can lift 250
Actually, to talk about exercise for a second, chin-ups or pull-ups
are very tough.
Very tough. And I don't have a pull-up bar at home. I wish I did. And I know that you can
See,
do that.
The one thing I've recognized is my upper body strength is okay for my age. My lower body, I'm a pretty, we can't see my legs on the radio, but they're fairly strong for a guy my. So if I'm following somebody on some of these weight machines, if it's somebody who's half my age, I will obviously have to take that little pin and move it from the 120 that they have down to the 32. Except the leg stuff, and I typically move it up. So I'm a pretty.
I want you to look into high intensity interval training, or HIIT. High intensity interval
I will look
training.
Into that.
Knowing you will Google it and you will do a complete research project out of this. But that's what I'm told.
And I will buy
by special sources.
And I will buy the special gloves and pants, and then I will lose them. I will spend the day looking for them before. The best part of working out is the steam room afterwards.
Oh, I love a good steam. I really do.
Yeah.
Now, have you been to the steam baths, Mr. Goldstone?
No.
Where
just a little
the Schwitz baths where they whip you with the plants? You haven't been there?
No.
That's living. Let me tell you right now.
I
got to take you there some Sunday morning.
I go to I do the exercise, then I go in and do about 20 minutes of a steam and then shower and go home, and that's sort of my experience. But I do feel good exercising. I don't like it when I'm doing it, but when I leave, I'm really happy that I'm leaving.
Well, that is the residual effect. Yoga, when I do yoga, it's Bikram, which is very hot, 100 degrees, very intense, and you sweat like the day.
Now, do you do the traditional upward, downward dog? And
actually, that's not part of the Bikram moves.
No.
There are 25 or so moves, but it's very, very hot, and at the end, you feel like a bunch of asparagus that's been left out in the. But after showering and having a little something to drink, water, it's the greatest, absolutely greatest feeling in the world.
I did a couple of yoga classes, but they did the traditional kind of stuff. Was it like upward leaning dog, downward dragon?
Upward, downward dog, yes.
Downward dog, upward lassie. Timmy's in the well. Timmy's in the well move, and
Yeah.
The one that I like is the child's pose. I could do that for like
That's
an hour.
everybody's favorite pose. Yes. you just
It's like
bend over and
Chuck's been napping for the last 22 minutes, but
on his knees.
He's at peace.
We must take a break. We'll come back. Don't forget, you're going to play the uke going into the final segment. I want you to play it to the top of the hour, okay?
I will do that.
All right, stand by. We'll be right back after this. We're back. It's 1:54 on BZ, a little bit earlier on WCCO. Quick comment there, Chuck, before we go to Irene in Malden. She has something to say. What did you want to say about spinning?
In spinning, what I had hoped for was that I would continue to do this and that I would develop the form and the kind of tour de force, Tour de France, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it is a tour de force, but the kind of Tour de France, I would have the form and the endurance of Lance Armstrong. And as it turns out, I have the form and endurance of Louis Armstrong. So it's
like
really
that one. That was a good one.
it's really quite a different experience.
Irene.